What's up, everybody? Back for another Honkai Star Rail video. In this video, we're going to go over the best teams to use in the newest Apocalyptic Shadow. A bit later recording this video just because I worked today, right? So, you know how it is, can't stay up all night, right? Even though I did kind of stay up kind of late. I'm working on that, changing schedule from, going to sleep at a reasonable time versus staying up till 7 in the morning is kind of, it's a bit rough. I lose track of time at night. But anyway, enough excuses. Let's just jump into this Apocalyptic Shadow. So, when enemy units with Steadfast Safeguard have their weakness broken, dispel all control debuffs, recover skill points, and activates ultimate for all allies. All enemies take 25% more dot and 15% more skill damage. Just dot and fade on shell, right? The buffs this time around for the Hule fighter: when an ally target consumes one skill point, increases the damage dealt by all allies by 6%, stacking up to 10 times. Screams Archer, but other characters can also use it. After defeating enemy targets, increase break damage taken by all enemies by 50% to a max of 4 stacks. This effect will also take effect on new enemies entering the battlefield, right? Break, right? And the last one is after an ally target consumes their own HP, their crit damage increases by 55%, lasts for 2 turns. Blade, Mide, Casterus, all those guys, right? Then on the Fei Zhao side, or should I say Hule, as a woman, increase ultimate damage dealt by allies by 30%. Additionally, increases it by 30% again against targets that are weakness broken. Second one is when an ally uses base attack or skill to attack weakness broken enemies. All dot currently applied to the enemies will immediately deal damage equal to 50% of the original damage. And the last one is after the character in position 1 on the team uses their ultimate, their weakness break efficiency increases by 50% and increase crit damage by 50%, lasting for 1 turn, right? So overall, Hule is just normal Hule. He'll taunt you, all that stuff, right? Fei Zhao was a bit interesting. I definitely didn't get all her mechanics because I did use my dot team, so I shredded her very quickly. But she has some funny mechanics. Some of them from her boss fight were on the second phase. She kind of like dips and you have to destroy the parts. She has an effect where she can transform you into a foot soldier and your physical, which is actually kind of nice because if you use it on a character who's not the right type and then use an attack, you can help break weakness, which I actually used. I put it on Huo and then used her skill to do like an AoE claw attack, which actually broke some of the enemies, which is kind of funny. But overall, let's go over the characters now for what you're going to use. Let's just get the meta out of the way. These characters are literally just the standard, good sustain, good support. Good, I wouldn't say niche picks. Well, like Hugo obviously is like a niche pick just because she's only on break, but it's just characters who are there with your, you know, DPS, sub DPS, and just going crazy, right? It's pretty much the same characters every single time at this point, right? I mean, there's a few added, like Silverwolf, because she just got buffed. There's probably other characters I can add, but you guys get the gist, really. Am I missing anybody, like, super support-wise? Not really. If I miss someone, it is what it is. Like, you guys get at this point. I always just include it just because these characters, I don't want to put them all, like, if I had to go like this and then put the DPS in there, I feel like that'd be a little too rough for some people. I like putting the DPSs here. Now, the reason we have Hule here but Fei Zhao here is because there's multiple parts you have to fight for Fei Zhao. With Hule, you can kind of just, like, hit the foot soldiers on the side and focus on him, right, and go from there. But with Fei Zhao, you actually have to be able to break the other targets. Heads up, if you're not using the right element against these guys, they have resistance to every element that isn't what they're weak to on this, so it is a bit annoying. Now, for characters who work great on both, it's gonna be Dot because this is the Dot shell one. So let's go ahead and put these three there. Feinon will work great because they're weak to physical and he has physical implant. Anoxa for his implant as well is going to be very, very good, along with Saber, right? Just because they're weak to wind, and even though Saber technically doesn't have a good buff on the first one, you could probably use like the skill point one and get away with it, right? Now for Hule, Archer's gonna absolutely destroy that. Sorry, I had to clear my throat. Anyway, Castoris is going to be really gone on this, especially when you 1v1, because he'll be hitting Castoris, and then you'll be getting a ton of Castoris skills over and over to get the dragon out, right? Another one that surprisingly can work is going to be Firefly. Now, the reason Firefly actually works for Hule is because Again, the 1v1 scenario where you can just attack, you can get a lot of toughness in during that part, right? Plus, there actually is the break one where after defeating enemy targets, increase break damage taken by items like 15%. So you can defeat the foot soldiers, and then once you break him, just go crazy, right? I can't remember exactly when he locks his weakness, because I'm pretty sure they both do. Right, I haven't used break in a minute, so I haven't fully been paying attention to that, right? As much as I just like attacking into them and go from there, right? So that could be a bit annoying for you to deal with, but when you get into the 1v1 scenario, you can absolutely just shred him with Firefly, especially if you have like Ruin May on the team and like maybe an E1 Fugue, right? Another character who could do good on both is Blade, by the way, just because the weak to one Blade's actually really good now. Who else? Acheron will be good against this one, just because her ult ignores toughness, so she can hit all of them. Some of them are weak to her typing as well. There's multiple enemies. Ultimate buff as well going on there. Fei Zhao can be pretty solid against Hule as well. I'll put her in can work because she is a bit older and I haven't used her in a minute, so I haven't seen how well she compares. So for my own, my own thoughts, I'm gonna put her in can work just because I haven't used her. Feel free to use her if she just goes crazy. Awesome. I feel like she can get it done, but like I said, I haven't used Fei Zhao in a minute. Boot Hill is another character I think can work, depending on what team and how strong your Boot Hill is. But I'm a bit worried about the 1v1 scenario when he, if you pick Boot Hill, if he could die in that scenario, because like Firefly will heal herself. Castoris can heal herself. Archer is just going to immediately blow him back the second he shoots his arrows. I'm trying to think of any other characters I've missed in here that can be pretty solid. Like Herta and Jinglu aren't going to be used in this. You could probably brute force this. Aglia, it's going to be a bit rough because most of her team is just focused on buffing her. So she's going to have a annoying time dealing with the one that isn't weak to electric. Rappa is going to be not really great here at all. Yun Li could work. I want to, no, she can work on this one. She can heal herself with her skill. I also haven't used Yunli in a while, but I have seen a few people who like using her clear stuff with her. I definitely had to do a refresher of some of the older characters because I haven't used them in so long, especially because I was so busy for like a month and a half that I didn't have the most time to play Sorrel, so I haven't had the chance to actually go and use some of my older characters. So definitely a refresher course is in action for some of these older characters like Boot Hill and Yunli, but I have seen people clear them already. So I know you can do it. Obviously, I don't know how many dupes they have in their characters. So obviously, if you have like E6 Boot Hill, that might be a different story, right? This is taking into account that everyone is E0. DPSs probably will have their light cones. Not all sports need their light cones, but someone like Sunday, if you have, it's going to be very, very helpful. I think I'm pretty confident in this list. Is there any other characters I can think of that would potentially be pretty helpful? Who am I missing? I think that's everybody. Yeah, I think that's everybody. All right. There we go. That's the teams. Now, unfortunately for can work, like the Fei Zhao side has a lot of characters who it's just like Acheron's just there, right? That's mostly because most of the characters who are in both just it's weird. They have like the same weaknesses. They don't have the same gimmicks, but I mean the same characters work on both sides. Like Phanon works on both sides, Doc characters work on both sides. Anoxa, Saber, Blade, like it's weird. You're basically fighting Hule twice, right? Because you're literally fighting Hule twice in lore, but like I said, same weaknesses, same teams. It's weird, right? It only changes because Hule's weak to Quantum, and then it's just one character who 1v1 you, and then Fei Zhao has multiple parts, so like AoE versus single target, really. But other than that, that's pretty much going to be it for the video. If you're wondering what I used to clear, I used Castoris, Tribby, Cypher, and Hyacinth for the first one. I actually autoed it because I was kind of lazy because we fought Hule so much. I just kind of wanted to get to the Fei Zhao part while I was doing other things. And then when I got the Fei Zhao, I used the Black Swan, Kafka, Hyacinth, and Huohuo team, and I got a really, really fast clear. I'll probably mess around with phase out a bit more once I get off of work and see more how she works with it. Because like I'm telling you, Dot just absolutely shredded her. It was not even close for like I think I got like a 3,815. And I definitely could get higher if I just dropped 12 because I don't even think I used her heal once because I was like, okay, I got hit with like a big attack. But honestly, didn't really need to use it because I don't think I got hit by like anything else afterwards. But overall, that's what I used. I probably won't do a video on my first clear, but maybe testing other teams on it. Let me know if you want to see that in the comments, and of course, I will catch y'all in the next one. Thanks for watching.